focusing on literal meaning, ignoring ignoring reasons. There are some people also who come to the literal meaning of the text, and we know the Arabic language has deep meanings to it too. So another area under the lack of knowledge, the example here, I put the pants length, you know. There are some Muslims, you will see them, they will never wear anything below their ankle, period. I'm not sure if you can see some, but this is a practice by some Muslims. We respect their perspective, but we believe the issue here is that they only took the literal meaning of the text, they didn't go behind what is meant to be. There is a text in the words of the Prophet that says, anything below the ankle, it is in hellfire. It will take you to hell. But the problem going to the literal meaning, we have other references in which his greatest companion, Abu Bakr, the first caliph, he told him, I wear, you know, some garment or some cloth that is long, it rolls behind me a little bit on the floor. He said, you're not among those who do it in arrogance. So here I need to take the other reference in which it explains to me that the tradition at that time for kings and, you know, all these people, that they would wear all these long robes and things and show arrogance, you know, they are superior to normal people, that this is a disease. A disease that you're seeing yourself superior to others and better than others, and you're demonstrating that through what? Through the way you dress. You should not do that, and that will take you into hell. So arrogance is a major sin, but just having 2 inches below your ankle is not going to take you to hell. I mean, you can take it from me here. Mine is longer than that, actually. So this is the problem, is people limiting their understanding to Islam to the literal meaning of the text. The concept of bid'ah, this is something like, you know, don't do this, this is bid'ah, like the innovation. Yes, in Islam, we don't believe anyone can add anything for doctrines. If someone's going to come and say, well, let us think, can someone claim a prophet after Muhammad? No, this is sealed. There is no place for that. Whoever comes and wants to add anything of the doctrines of Islam will say no. Can someone comes and say, we can add an act of worship? No, we cannot. If someone's going to come and suggest, let us make 6 prayers a day instead of 5, we say, no, sorry, it's fixed, it's 5 times. If someone comes and say, we don't need to stand facing Mecca and bow down and prostrate to the floor, we just sit down and like meditate or whatever, we say, no, the way we inherited prayer is that you have to stand up facing Mecca and bow down. But there are certain things, for example, for Friday prayer, when the mosque in Medina was small, and the call for prayer, the imam will come, will stand up on the pulpit, on the minbar, you know, where he delivers his sermon, and people will come and they will call the adhan, or the call for prayer. What happened when Muslims started growing in numbers, by the time people coming from the suburbs to attend the prayer, the sermon will be done. So the third caliph, his name is Uthman, what did he do? He said, let us make another call for prayer, make 2 calls for prayers. One, to remind people that the prayer time has came, and the second, so when people come, they will be on time and they will benefit from the sermon. Was that a bid'ah? No, of course not. Why? Because it is based on the benefit and it has an origin. It has an origin that in the morning prayer, the Prophet approved 2 calls for adhan to be called. The same thing for, one time I was eating at a restaurant, and there was not enough places, so I had to sit down with, Arabic food served. So I had to sit down on a table where there is another person sitting down. So I took the plate and I said, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. He said, no, bid'ah. Don't say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I said, what's the innovation? I mean, there is a clear text from the Prophet that says, Sammillaha wa kul biyaminik. Name the word of Allah before you eat. Like, say Bismillah. He said, yes. He said, only Bismillah in the name of God. Do not add ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. That's bid'ah. I said, where did you get that from? He said, well, the text says, only say in the name of God. Don't add anything. I said, well, I want to praise God and call Him the All-Merciful. what's the problem with that? So there are some people who think that if they limit their understanding to Islam to that, and they come and tell you, oh, if you don't have much information about Islam, like you say, oh, okay, you don't know. And he might have a big beard and a long thobe, whatever, and then you think he is the Grand Mufti of the United States. The issue of loyalty and friendship related to minor issues. Another example. I was doing my wash for the prayer. And in Islam, you could wipe on your feet instead of on your socks, instead of washing it. So one next to me person asked me, can I wipe on these socks? It was too thin. I mean, it's not thick at all. I mean, his skin is seen through that. And the whole issue came from that. At the time of the Prophet, they used to wear socks made of the skin of animals, like rabbits or sheep or something like that. So the Prophet approved, and then the perspective of I'm wearing irregular socks made of cloth or made of fabric, then I said at least it had to match the thickness so the water will not touch your feet. So one person said to me, where did you get that from? I said, well, my understanding to the type of socks that was available at the time of the Prophet, it was made from skin, so it was a seal. So if I need to use any socks made of fabric, it has to match at least the same condition. He said, it doesn't have to be. I said, that's fine. Now that person didn't speak to me after that period. Up to now, he doesn't speak to me. Loyalty and friendship based on minor issues. There are people, if you disagree with them for just simple issues like they consider it as if it's the major part in Islam and he would never talk to you or anything. And this is a very dangerous perspective. I still have many slides. Another cause for extremism, aggression. If people are, and this is in relation to the hot topics now, why people are killing others and why people are doing that. We say very clear, killing innocent people is not acceptable. Blowing yourself up, it doesn't matter what's the reason. Taking the lives of innocent people is not acceptable. But we need also to look at the cause, not just at the effect. The media is busy only saying they're doing terrorist acts. Well, okay, they are terrorist acts, but what is the cause of that? Where is it coming from? The cause of that, there is some governments that are supported by other governments to keep torture, to keep, putting people in very desperate conditions. So it becomes a retaliation. We're not saying that it's okay, we're just trying to understand the cause. And by no means in Islam you can go ahead and blow yourself up or blow a car in which people who are passing by, innocent people, children, elderly, women, even normal people. This is not acceptable. So retaliation would be because of the aggression. To hate everyone. This is also another issue. If you go to a place where, for example, even take for example here our government here in the States. Why we are having people attacking our soldiers in Afghanistan or in Iraq or something like that. Well, what have we brought to them really? Did we bring the type of democracy and what we have promised, or we only limited it unless it's serving our own benefit? And the only people benefiting from our support are the elite, the government people and their followers. It's not the normal. So when people, they are retaliating bad, they're hating the governments with the people, and they're saying all the Western people is evil and all. And many people here on the extreme right side, the conservatives, they see the action of some Muslims, then they stamp every Muslim with the same stamp. So it's happening on both sides. We need to educate ourselves and expect others to be also educated, that you do not put everyone on the same page and you make a ruling on everyone else.